I could never hold down a real job, and I thought that there was something critically wrong with me. I did a lot of soul searching, and I found out that I'm actually not alone, and there are so many other people in the world just like I am. In this video, I go through how debilitating it was for me to not be able to hold down a job, what I did about it, how I became like this, and how I turned all of these negative patterns into building a very thriving career. Hello humans, my name is Mariam and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I make videos about creativity, about productivity and motherhood. And if any of these things interest you, then please consider subscribing. And if they don't interest you, then stick around for my dashing personality as I attempt to entertain you with my dad jokes and my really weird facial expressions. Now this video has been a little bit hard for me to script because it's taken me a really long time to be honest with myself about it so that I can really understand what my actual real thoughts are. It's been a real sore topic in my heart just because I think I've made a lot of life decisions and a lot of career decisions based on what other people will think. And at the same time, I haven't really made decisions that are traditional, especially when it comes to my career. My thoughts and my journey just haven't been like other people around me. From being a very young girl, I envisioned a life that was totally full of freedom. I didn't see myself working, at least not in the traditional sense. But the thing is, at the same time, I saw myself having real impact and real influence over the world. Other people that I was friends with knew from a young age, or at least were working towards a career in either the corporate sector, in tech, or in healthcare, and they kind of knew where they wanted to end up. But at the same time, I saw myself traveling the world, writing a book, maybe hosting some conferences and learning languages and learning how to cook exotic foods. These are all my childhood dreams, guys. I never really wanted to be bound by time or space. I really just wanted to have the type of freedom where I can have lunch at any time in the day that I want with my friends. I can take long walks on the beach and I can have a nap literally whenever I want to. I know to most people this sounds like a really prolonged childhood fantasy, but the thing is, I never really grew out of this. And to be honest with you, I probably still haven't. The only way these dreams have transformed is that now, as a grown-ass woman, I want to work from a beach with my children playing around me, as I go on long walks in the middle of their day whilst taking pictures of really weird things. And I really just want to live a life where breakfast doesn't exist and we all just live for brunch, because that's what life is about. I know, to most of you watching this, and to the majority of the world, all of these things just sound crazy. They sound like I am spoiled, irresponsible, and just damn right disillusional. The only way, I figured out that the only way to live a life like that is if you're the sole heir of a huge fortune that your great aunt left for you that you had no idea about, and she's just passed away and it's all yours. The other way to do it is if I marry Jeff Bezos and inherit his entire fortune instead of actually just making pennies on his affiliate scheme, or build a huge empire and then be able to retire at the age of 35 and still have energy to do things that I want to do in life. I had to be honest with myself and have one of those real serious conversations that I always do, and I knew that these things weren't really going to happen. And of course other people around me also knew that that wasn't going to happen, and at the risk of being thought of as spoilt, irresponsible and disillusional, I just conformed to the way of life that other people lead. I conformed to absolute average. I got a 9-to-5 job which was decently paid, with a company car, an actual manager to manage me. I became a very unhappy Mariam that used to contemplate hitting the car in front of me every morning just so that I don't have to make it to work after my morning commute. And it's fair to say that I wasn't able to consistently uphold this front for a very long time. But at the same time, to the world, I was making the monies, I was climbing the corporate ladder, and I was attaining the American dream. I was a successful person. The thing was, I didn't really grow out of wanting that lifestyle that I had envisioned. In fact, as I got older, I became even stronger on my path to try to attain that somehow. I didn't know anybody around me who had attained that level of freedom, because everybody has wanted the same damn thing, the the 2 kids, the mortgage, the beautiful house, the holiday once a year. Like, no, I'm not about that life. If I didn't get what I wanted, I would risk seeming successful to the rest of the world, but really hating myself for not living my life on my own basis and on my own terms and making decisions that I want to make. I would probably be stuck in a job that I was just not happy with, that I worked too much for, that I experienced burnout with, and then I'd probably have a midlife crisis before the age of 40. In fact, when I really thought about it, I realized that I would do the absolute worst thing of teaching my son that it's okay not to spend the one life that we are blessed with living the type of life that you want. I would teach him that it's more important what other people think of your life and your decisions than you do. And I would teach him that that was way more important than what he would think of himself. I would teach him that it's not important to work towards what you want in life. And the absolute worst thing that I would be teaching him is that it's okay to live in a state where you are not happy with your life. And that is not okay with me. I had to do a lot of retrospective analysis, really indulge into my brain to understand where all of these thoughts came from. I grew up with both of my parents running their own business, so a typical day for me would involve going with my dad after school and going to loads of warehouses and doing some shopping for his business, and then coming home, watching television and doing bookkeeping with my mom in front of the television. Like, that was just so normal for me. I realized that my parents didn't really have a segregation between their work and their life. And the problem for me was that growing up, I didn't really understand the difference between what work was and what life was. This is a huge reason why I just wasn't happy working the standard 9 to 5. The fact that I wasn't really able to segregate meant that I didn't really know how to work really hard consistently throughout the whole day and then switch off at 5 o'clock just so that I could enjoy life. I was actually built to do both of them simultaneously. And as I grew up a little bit, that's where I saw myself thriving the most. And it all just makes sense to me right now. Like, this is the reason why in my adult life I've never been on a holiday where I haven't taken any work with me. It's the reason why, in addition to my day job, I've always had at least 1 or 2 different side hustles that have made me money. And this is the reason why I actually value my career so much. It's not about a work-life balance for me, it's about life and how both of those things just intertwine with each other, and I don't need to switch off from that. I've learned that instead of trying to conform in the way that other people live their life, I really need to embrace this part of me, because working this way is my superpower. The term multi-potentialite is coined by R.H. Fredrickson. And in 1972, he explained that people like me don't really have one true calling. And this is the reason why people like me aren't really able to hold down one single job or one career path for their whole lives. We have so many ideas that we want to just synthesize all of those ideas into one. We are able to learn really, really quickly, and we are adaptable as anything. We're naturally curious about so many things that we are able to just dive deep into things that we know we are going to learn new things about. And I think this is where the fact that I have a lot of energy and enthusiasm comes from. There's a great little TED talk about this, which I'm going to link in my description, that I think will be useful if anybody can relate to this. But I truly feel energized by being able to balance and manage so many different things simultaneously. By adopting so many different characteristics of mine, I think I'm really learning to embrace them. And now I've got to the point where I don't fear being able to hold down a job consistently, because I realize that I am so much more than that. I am able to thrive in circumstances where I can bring loads of skills into my jobs. I have learned that my working style is actually that of a portfolio career. So if you're thinking of hiring me ever in the future, just know that I'm going to be doing more than one thing at once, because I am super into combining multiple income streams into my livelihood, and that, my friends, is my superpower. My superpower is that I want to do everything. And that's all right, because you know what? I am on track to give that little girl, that is me, all of the freedom that she wanted. I know I still struggle with making other people in my life understand this part of me. Because when I tell people that I'm working, I don't really know what I'm doing. And I don't really know how to explain what I'm working on. I don't really know how to explain what my job is anymore. But my aim is that through making videos like this and through being able to connect to people that really relate to this, I can help educate other people. But at the same time, I can also learn new things about myself. So I really want to thank you for watching this video. If you feel that you might be a multi-potentialite, or there's so many different parts of you that you just are unable to balance, maybe reach out and maybe we can have a chat about this. And if you have any questions about this, then please connect with me on Twitter or on Instagram, or otherwise just put your comments in the description below. I am genuinely excited to make some thought-provoking videos, and I would really, really, really love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching.